Okay, so question 19, we're told that there's two lines and that they're parallel to each other. So parallel just means that they have the exact same slope. And so it says one of the lines has a slope of 3, so that means that the other line also has a slope of 3. And so which of the following is the equation of line K? And so in order to find that, well, we know that all of these are in the form of y equals mx plus b. So that means m is the slope and the b is the intercept. So in this case, the slope would still be 3. And then for the intercept, we can just work backwards from this point. So this point is 3 away from x equals 0. So that means we just do 3 times the slope, which would be 9. So we would just take 10 and then subtract 9 from there to get 1. So the correct answer would be 3x plus 1, which is in choice D. Okay. Question 20. Okay, so for question 20. A certain colony of bacteria begins with one cell and it doubles every 20 minutes. What is the population of the colony after 2 hours? So in this case, um, in 20 minutes, it doubles from 1 to 2. In 40 minutes, it doubles from that, so then it'll become 4. In 60 minutes, it becomes 8. In So in 1 hour, it becomes 8. And then it'd be 16, 32, and then 64. So it's going to be 20 minutes, 40 minutes, 60 minutes, 80 minutes, 100 minutes, and then 120 minutes, which is 2 hours. So the population of the colony after 2 hours is 64. Okay. Question 21. Okay, so question 21. We're given a circumference and we're asked to find diameter and then also to convert between units. Um, so the first thing we would do is the circumference formula is 2 pi r is the circumference, and it asks us to find the diameter. So diameter is just 2 times the radius. So basically all we have to do to find the diameter is to take the circumference and divide by pi. So just take 4,0,0,30 and then divide by pi. And this will give us uh, the circumference. You can put this into your calculator, but you get 1,274,1.9 approximately. And then uh, all you need to do is convert. So the conversion factor would just be taking this answer and then multiplying by 0.62137. So we would just take 12741 and then multiply by 0.62137, which would get us uh, 7917.4. So the correct answer was in choice C, 7,917. Okay, question 22. Okay, so for question 22, the budget for the school band was 8,000. It decreased by 15% and then increased by 22%, which the following expression represents the budget in dollars of the school band in 2012. Well, how we would do that is just we'd take the original, which was 8,000, and then multiply by 1 plus or minus the change. So in this case, it's decreased by 15%, so it's just 1 minus 0.15. And then the other one is just 1 plus, because it's increased, so 1 plus 0.22. This would just be equal to 0.85. and then this is equal to 1.22. So our equation would just be 0.85 times 1.22 uh, times the original value, which is 8,000, which is answer choice B. Okay, question 23. Okay, so question 23. It says an equation of the boundary line between the A and S regions are approximated by the equation above. So that would be this line right here, this boundary line. It asks, what is the meaning of the t-intercept of this line? So the t-intercept basically means where the t crosses the axis, or right here. In this case, it would be 760 and 0. So it asks, what is the meaning of that? Well, since the pressure is 0, I'm gonna assume that the answer choice has to do something with at no pressure. So maximum temperature at which sillimanite can form. No, because sillimanite can form at higher temperatures, such as 795. So it's not A. Temperature at which both can form when there is no pressure applied. Well, at no pressure applied, and they both are connected to that. So the correct answer is B. Increase in number of degrees Celsius to remain on boundary if the pressure is reduced by 1 GPa? No. And then increase by 1 degree Celsius? No. It's talking more about the actual zero pressure part. Okay. Uh, question 25. Okay, so question 25. I would highly recommend just using your calculator and graphing these two. Um, so in this case, if you would graph 2x plus 4, we would get a line like this. And if we would graph, and if we would graph x minus 3 and x plus 2, we would get a line like this. And these would be our two intersection points. I guess I'll just pull up Desmos and show you. Okay, so just assume this is your graphing calculator and you're graphing 2x plus 4. and x minus 3x plus 2. Okay, and then our two intercepts are at -2, 0, and at 5, 14. So correct answer is D. Okay, question 26. Okay, so for question 26, uh, there's a couple ways to solve this. You could plug in all of these answer choices into the formula and see which one gets you the highest answer. Alternatively, you can also graph this equation and see where the highest point is. Uh, since you all will have a calculator, um, I guess I'll just do that. So I guess we go back to Desmos and we just graph the equation, which is 4. And this is our graph that we get. We have a peak at x equals 48. So that is our highest point. So the correct answer, or that is it says at what speed does the car obtain the greatest gas mileage? Well, the greatest gas mileage is 46, and that happens at x equals 48. So the correct answer is B, 48. That is the speed at which it has the greatest gas mileage. Okay, question 27. Okay, so for question 27, we have selected values. What is the value of h of 8? Well, when x increases by 2, h of x increases by uh 4. So in this case, it's double what the increase in x is. So what is the value of h of 8? Well, if we start at 4 and we have to go to 8, that's plus 4. So that means that this would just be plus 8. So 11 plus 8 is 19. So the value of h of 8 is just 19. Okay, question 28. Okay, so for question 28, it says the front row has 10 seats. There's 50 rows in total, and each row has two more seats than the row before it. which expression gives us the total number of seats in the last row. Well, we know that the first row has 10 seats, and then plus, we know that the change is 2 seats each row, and we're told that there's 50 rows in total. But we don't include the first row, which doesn't have any extra seats. So in this case, it would just be 49 because there's 49 more rows after the first row. So this case, it'd just be 10 plus 2 times 49, which is just A. If you want to check this, you can also just use smaller numbers to check. So let's say that instead of 50 rows, there's only 3 rows, such as 10, 12, and 14. Let's say that there's only 3 rows, in which case the third row would be 14. A way to check this would just be doing 10 plus 2 times. Instead of 50 rows, we have only 3 rows. This would just be 3 minus 1. This would just get us 10 plus 2 times 2 is 4, which is 14. So using our hypothetical of only 3 rows, we can also see that it would probably work for 50 rows. Okay, question 29. Okay, so for question 29, we're told they select a random sample of 30, and we're told which of the following is the best interpretation of the findings. So we're told mean was 0.94 and margin of error was 0.12. So in this case, all of them have a mass. No, that's not true. There could be outliers. Most have a mass between 0.82 and 0.16. Well, this is not the proper way to actually uh, write this because um, you'll see what I mean. in the other answers. So any mass between 0.82 and 1.6 is a possible value for the mean mass of the prairie dogs in the sample. So no, this is not correct because this is a sample. We can extrapolate this data into the entire colony. So um, it's not C. And then any mass between 0.82 and 0.16 is a possible value for the mean mass in the prairie dogs in the colony. The correct answer is D. So this isn't B isn't correct because it doesn't talk about the mean mass. We want to know about the mean mass because the margin of error is about the mean of 0.94. Okay, question 30. Okay, so for question 30, we're told the length is 6 inches longer than the width, which the following can be used to determine the length of the poster if length is X. Well, in this case, word 32 is the final answer, and the length is 6 inches longer than the width. So we have X squared. X squared would just be a length squared. The length squared would be larger than the length times the width because the width is smaller than the length. So you would have to subtract 6 inches times X, which is the length. So the correct answer in this case would be answer choice B. Because X squared would get you like this box. What you want is this, basically. So you just take, this is X, and then this is the 6. So you just do 6 times X. And this would just be X squared. Okay, question 31. Someone asked about the previous question. I'll go back to that right after I finish answering this one. Um, so for this one, it says if 2x plus 3 equals 5 and 3y minus 3 equals 6, what is one plausible value? Well, in this case, we don't actually have to solve for all the values. We can just solve for one plausible value. So in this case, uh, one plausible value for this equation would just be 2x plus 3 equals 5, which would just be 2x equals 2, which would just give us x equals 1. And then for another possible value, we can just do 3y minus 3 equals 6. And then add 3 to both sides, we'd get 3y equals 9, y equals 3. And then what is the value of xy? Well, in this case, it would just be 3. They actually accepted multiple answers for this question. They accepted the answers of 1, 3, 4, and 12. So if you put any of these four, you got it correct because it just asks for one possible value. And then someone said for the previous question, you was explaining it again. So you said you got D. So basically, um, on, let me explain again. Okay. So it says that 432 is total. So they said they got D because it's plus. So in this case, the reason why that's not correct is because the length is X, right? So let's say we have a poster, okay? And then the length X. So we have this is X, this is the length. And the length of the poster is 6 inches longer than the width. So uh the width, let's say this is the width. The width would be the length minus 6. And so in this case, uh, it would just be, you just multiply by 2, which would just be x squared minus 6x equals 432. That's how to solve that. Okay, question 32. Okay, so for question 32, we have a scatter plot, year of 4. So let's look here. Difference between the actual and predicted value. So this What is value of n? Basically, what it's asking is what is the difference between this line at 50 and this dot at, well, somewhere between 50 and 60. Um, I don't really like these kind of questions because in this case, you kind of just have to look at the graph and sort of estimate. If you had like a piece of paper, you could just take some flat surface and just put it against this to see the exact. But in this case, it looks like it's approximately 5. So the correct answer is 5. In this case, they actually accepted three answers. They accepted both 4, 5, and 6. If you put any of these three, it would be correct. But uh, uh, yeah, kind of weird question. Okay, question 33. Okay, so for question 33, we're asked to find x, and we're given a couple of values. So in this case, this is just a right triangle, so we can use a squared, b squared, and c squared. So 8 squared plus b squared equals 10 squared. That would just get us 100 minus 64 equals b squared. That just gets us b equals 6. So in this case, this value here is 6. I mean, this value here is also 6. So that means this is 12. And then it asks, it gives us the total area is 180. What is the value of x? Well, x times 12 equals 180. So we just do 180 divided by 12, which is 15. So the correct answer is 15. Okay, question 34. Or I guess it's 1129, so Okay, so in this question, it would just be uh 3 times 0.6 plus, in this case, it would just be x. We're just going to call the other value x times 0.6 equals 10.8. And then using this, we can work backwards to find x and then take that value and uh, divide by 6, which would just get us 2.5. So the correct answer to this question is 2.5. I can explain this more in detail next class. Right now it's 11:31 though, so
You can, if you want, can explain this and then we'll
no,
end.
it's fine. I'll explain next class.